with your host, Upper Perkiomen School District Superintendent, Dr. Alan Roche.
Welcome to our May 2026 episode of Inside Upper Perk, the Superintendent's View podcast. It's hard to believe that we're just 1 week away from June and that we have less than 10 days left in the 2025-26 school year. May is always a busy time in schools with testing, final exams, end-of-year traditions and celebrations, as well as the excitement for the last few days of the school year. And, of course, high school graduation. We're looking forward to next week when we can celebrate and honor the Upper Perkiomen High School class of 2026. On Wednesday, June 3rd, starting at 5 p.m., our seniors will begin to process into Keeney Stadium for graduation. Congratulations early for the class of 2026, and congratulations to the parents, family, and friends of the class of 2026, as everyone is a part of the success of our students. Mr. Flanagan and the high school administration, along with the faculty and staff at the high school, provide an excellent ceremony for our graduates. This year, we plan to have a few new twists to the graduation ceremony involving all of our employees from across the district to celebrate the 13-year journey many of our graduates have had from kindergarten at either Hereford or Marlboro all the way up to the high school. Please join me in wishing the class of 2026 great success in their next phase. With that said, let's jump into our first guest on this month's episode. Our first guest today is one of our veteran teachers who has truly made their mark at Upper Perk and will be missed next year as they plan to retire in the next 2 weeks. Please join me in welcoming current middle school math teacher, Mrs. Ruth Guenther, to the podcast today.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. For our listeners who may not know your full story, can you share a little bit about your journey in education and what first led you to become a teacher?
Sure. I loved my high school math teacher, and from there I followed in his footsteps to Shippensburg University, got a job teaching in Delaware. Then I went to Pottsgrove. Then I became an athletic director at Daniel Boone. I came to Upper Perk as an athletic director, and after 2 years I decided to jump back into the classroom as a math teacher.
Okay. Wow. Athletic director. That's an interesting take from math and athletic directing. Maybe some people may not connect those two.
Well, I was coaching 3 sports, so I think I was in the athletic director office more than I was in my classroom.
Okay. Well, that's all right. I mean, that's those are connections you make with kids. That's the important piece.
Yes.
So what did you enjoy most about athletic directing, and what do you enjoy most now about teaching math?
I think for both of them, it's being with the kids. In the classroom, you see the academic side of the students and are able to work with them as they're, looking at their future and their pathway to a job. And in athletics, you got to see the other side where they were competitive and showed their skills on a field or, on a wrestling mat, and just a different kid when you see them in that atmosphere. But you're still following them in their career paths.
Right. And I was always told as you coach athletics and coach other items, those are often choices for kids. They want to participate in that. But as a teacher in the math class, or as I taught science, you have everyone that's there, and then they have to, compulsory, right? They have to participate in some level of that. So, and math can be intimidating for
Yes.
some students. So how what's the gift that you have that connects with kids that helps them, that if they're reluctant to be strong in math or they struggle in math?
I like to show the kids where they can use those skills outside of the classroom. And sometimes it's a stretch. We're not doing sine and cosine outside of the classroom.
We're not going to use this box and whisker.
Correct. But I really talk about the problem solving and the collaboration that we do in the math classroom, that those skills are the ones that are going to teach them in life when they go and get a job and have to work with others and do a lot of problem solving. So if I can give them the basics for math, and obviously we do math every day, whether we're young or old, with finances, so it's important for them to have that background information.
Agreed. Ruth, I see you everywhere, right? You volunteer, you help out after school, you help with tickets, all those types of things. And I know you're continuing with your work at the Ed Foundation and all of that. So what keeps you coming back and staying involved with Upper Perk, even though come 2 weeks from now you don't have to, but I know you're planning on it to do that. So that volunteering piece, what drives you there?
I think it's important to have, we see the kids in their different realms, and I think it's important for the kids to see us in our different realms. As a ticket taker, I'm meeting parents of the kids when they walk in. In the Ed Foundation, I'm in the community, I'm working with businesses, and I feel like that's kind of making a whole teacher, that I'm not just in a classroom, I'm also being part of the school community.
Mm-hmm. You definitely are, no doubt. It's a tough question now. So thinking back on your years here at Upper Perk, what are some of the moments or memory that really stands out that you're willing to share?
So those are tough, but a lot of them have to do with my colleagues. I have to do a shout out to my colleagues at the high school because they really adopted me when I went from athletic director back into the classroom.
You were accepted when being on the dark side back to...
I was, yes. So a lot of those memories are getting pictures with Santa Claus at Christmas time and having oranges roll into my classroom, and the kids just... they react to it, and it's funny to see because they're like, what was that? And it's just an opportunity for them to see the human side
Sure.
of all of the teachers. And just, when I transitioned to the middle school, a lot of that continued with the colleagues there
Right.
and being accepted there and working with them. So I think a lot of my memories are not just the kids, but also all of my colleagues that I worked with.
Great. Now, when I first started, I think you were still splitting time, high school and middle school. You were in a coaching role at some point?
Yes, I was instructional coach for 1 year, trying to get the math program together with intervention and enrichment programs. So, but yeah, I was splitting time teaching a class at the high school and then going to the middle school.
Right. Yeah. So you're on the close to getting ready for retirement and another couple of weeks. And
A couple of weeks, 8 days.
is that what it is?
8 days.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
Just
I don't know.
clarifying.
I don't know when people are listening to this, so
Just clarifying.
okay, 8 days. But who's counting?
Right.
Exactly. And they say it gets from talking to people come the fall when buses are moving. That could be kind of the weird time for people this is what they've been doing for so long. What do you hope that students remember most about being in your class when they reflect next year, 5 years, 10 years from now?
Well, I hope that they realize what I'm teaching them now will be lifelong learning for them, and that they will look back on it and say, oh, this is why she did the things that she did, or this is really helping me because I remember doing this in her class.
Right.
So those are kind of two of the important things. We have some fun times. We do some different activities. We did the career fair this year, and I'm hoping that, we've done that for a couple of years. I'm hoping that sticks with the kids when they go and plan their futures.
Sure. I'm sure it will. What are you most looking forward to in the next chapter? I know you're not going to be sitting around and relaxing because that's not who you are.
Correct. I will be at the beach. I will be working at the farmer's market at Tony Baloney's, which is a mozzarella Italian place. I'll probably be doing a whole lot of reading and making jigsaw puzzles.
But there's no plans right now to go out and get another full-time job. You're going to enjoy the time that you've done?
No full-time job.
Yeah? Okay. That's great.
So I might go to the local high school, and see if they need a ticket seller or a basketball scorekeeper.
Okay.
But
I'm happy to be a reference if you need that. If you need a connection, happy to do that for you.
Yeah, definitely the realm of athletics is part of me.
Right. Well, before we wrap up, is there anything that you'd like to say to the students, the families, your colleagues, community members that you've worked with over the years?
I just want to thank everybody I've been here for 23 years, so, I hope that I've touched a lot of lives, but I know that I have had a lot of people that have touched my life, and those memories will never be lost to me, and I will continue to hopefully see everyone when they come and visit me at the beach.
Right. Open invitation?
Open invitation.
Nice. Well, on behalf of the school district, I want to thank you for your countless hours, care, dedication that you've given to generations of students and families. Your impact reaches far beyond the classroom and the athletic fields, and your legacy will continue to be felt for years to come here at Upper Perk. So we wish you nothing but the best, happiness, and fulfillment in retirement. So thank you for everything.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I will miss a lot of people around here, so thank you.
Thank you. Our next and final guest today on the May edition of Inside Upper Perk, the Superintendent's View podcast, is our Director of Facilities and Operations, Mr. Mike Rohrbach, to share some updates and projects that will be taking place over the summer. So stay tuned. And we're back to the podcast. Please welcome our Director of Facilities and Operations, Mr. Mike Rohrbach, to the podcast today.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, your background, and what you were doing before you came to Upper Perk.
So I started out my career in construction, in project management. We renovated and built water and wastewater treatment plants. After that, I got into healthcare, actually, where I started my career as a director of facilities. I was in large senior living facilities with nursing homes and memory care. And after COVID, I was looking to make a change, and school districts popped up, and I was very happy to start my career at Southern Lehigh, and then that brought me here to Upper Perk.
So all along, you've been in the facilities area, just
Yes.
no matter what field it's been in.
Yep.
Wastewater sounds interesting.
Yep. It was.
And then making your way through healthcare.
Yep.
And then now to schools. Yeah, COVID was definitely interesting. I think a lot of people had an opportunity to
Yep.
examine careers and what's important. So I know many people see the results of your department's work every day, but they may not really understand everything that goes on behind the scenes. Explain the role of the Director of Facilities and Operations.
So my role is to direct the maintenance and custodial staff to ensure our schools are safe, clean, any building needs are taken care of. I'm also in charge of the planning and completing of future construction projects, repairs, and to ensure our students have a comfortable learning environment.
And your favorite part is the use of facilities requests.
The use of facilities requests as well, yes.
People like to ask for using of facilities. Sure. How does your department help support students, teachers, staff, and the community?
So we make sure all the facilities are cleaned every night. We make sure all small and large repairs are completed. That goes from anything as small as replacing a light bulb to, making sure the roofs are safe, secure, and the air conditioning is running and the heat.
Right. So here we are in May. We're less than 2 weeks away from the end of the school year, and I'm sure everyone outside of education is like, "Oh, summer, you guys kick back and really just relax and have a pretty easy summer." But we know that's one of the busiest times, specifically for facilities work with any sort of project or normal cleaning and those aspects. So, what are some of the major projects that are happening across our Upper Perk schools this summer?
Major one is the turf and track replacement. That entails replacing the turf and re-coating the track. So that's the big one we have for this summer. We are also planning some painting, some crack sealing for the parking lots, pressure washing that's overdue, and obviously, like you said, the full cleaning of all the schools and floor prep. Our custodial team is getting prepared right now to hit the ground running as soon as students leave and to welcome students back in August.
So what's your approach? Because I've seen in being in schools for a long period of time, you see different approaches. You see the approach where everyone stays in their building and handles the facilities that are needs by team, or you have an approach where you kind of consolidate all of your summer help and some of the summer custodians and maintenance to one building, kind of do that whole piece and then move on to another one. So how does that look?
Generally, we keep all of our people in the building that they work at. Last year, we found ourselves in a interesting situation with the asbestos project where we had to do what you just said and move people around. This year, we don't have that issue, but we have another constraint that we are looking to move people around throughout the summer to make sure all the schools get done. So it's not going to be as, everyone staying in their own school, but we will make sure all the schools get done properly.
And one of the other items I heard you talk about was roofing. So I know roofing is a big topic along the lines of the turf and track replacement. I know we're hoping to get a grant, applied for a grant that'll help us probably next summer. Hopefully we'll be doing a lot more roof work to make sure that those things are going on. And that was what allowed us to move towards both turfs and the track being replaced this summer.
That's correct. Yes, next summer we are scheduled to do major roof replacement for sections at the high school, Hereford, and the 4-5 Center.
Okay. But I know we have some general excitement for the new turf fields and refurbish of the track. So why do you think the project's important for the district at this time?
I think first and foremost, it's safety. The turf has run its course of its life. It's right around the 15-year-old realm. Usually turf replacement, you start to think about it in year 10 to year 12. And it's just, it's compact. It's, it's safe to play on right now. But it's getting near the point where it would not be.
End of life, getting close.
Yep.
And better to be proactive than reactive. So what does the timeline look like for the turf and the track work this summer?
So June 8th is the load-in from Keystone Sports Construction.
So literally the Monday after our students leave on June 5th,
Yep.
June 8th, yep.
And they're going to immediately start on the removal of the current turf in both Keeney and Tribe. June 15th to the 26th is the Keeney turf install. June 29th to July 15th is the track install. And then July 13th to the 22nd is Tribe turf install.
If I want a little piece of Upper Perk history, how do I get a piece of turf?
I don't know. We have not discussed that.
You
We
know.
should.
There may be some
Yeah.
that played on that may want a little
Yeah.
sample, or
Yeah.
maybe there's a fundraiser,
That's not a bad
part of the
idea.
auction, maybe.
Yeah, we should think about that.
Yep. So what message would you want to share with families and athletes about remaining flexible during the construction period? Because, like as you said, it seems to be rolling there, and everything looks great on paper, but it's going to be not a normal summer with the use of the track in that area.
No, it's not going to be. And basically, both stadiums will be closed from June 8th till the first week in August. That gives us a little play as far as punch list related items, any weather delays. The athletic department has done a great job as far as finding other fields for sports teams and communicating the exact way to travel, where to park, so that everyone remains safe. So yeah, it'll be closed from June 8th to the first week in August.
Right. So a lot of moving parts, a lot of coordination. So who are some of the other people and departments that help make this work possible for the overall project?
Other than facilities, the athletic department has been, huge in, like I said, coordinating, communicating to their coaches and to their teams and their players. Mr. Flanagan at the high school has been great as far as coordinating and making sure we have a good game plan. And then, the whole selection process was the facilities committee and the board. I think there were a lot of people there for that. And then just getting it approved through the board, we're very thankful.
So as you're looking ahead to next school year, beyond that project, what are you most excited about for the 26-27 school year?
I think continuing our long-range planning. I think the district is in need of, getting, our 5-year plans in order, working with our vendors for that, and then communicating building needs to the board so that they can make the best decisions in the interest of the district.
I thought you were going to say the auction, because there's an auction coming
there
up.
is an
Right?
auction
We're
coming up.
trying to sell off some of our previously owned furniture
Yep.
and other items. Any update on that?
Well, we don't have a solidified date as of right now. I'm waiting on that, but that will be advertised. We will make sure everyone knows when that is and
Okay.
where to go.
Coming up
to look
soon?
at. Coming up very soon.
Okay. So,
In the next 2 to 3 weeks.
all right. Awesome. So before we wrap up, is there anything about facilities and operations that you wish more people knew or understood? We did have one of our maintenance team on before talking about snow days, those type of things. Is there anything that people should know?
I think just the amount of work that the custodial and maintenance teams do, it goes mostly unseen, but it is critical to the operation of the district. They work very hard. They work extra hours. They do, they're here on nights. They're on weekends. They get called in for emergencies. They even worked a holiday over winter because of snow removal. So I just really
A couple years ago, they were here on Christmas.
Yeah. Just want
They
to
do it all.
I just want to make sure that they're recognized for all the hard work that they do.
Yeah, that's great. I agree 100%. They're fantastic. Any last thoughts to share with our listeners?
No, just thank you for allowing me to be here and being part of Upper Perk. I appreciate it.
Great. Thanks for the time today to share with our listeners, and I invite you back to an episode next school year to provide any facility updates. As you know, Facilities Committee will continue to meet and work on all aspects of the campuses. So thanks again.
You got it.